All right, good evening. This is Wag Chicago. It's still the 26th. It's still June, etc. All that garbage in the 21st year of 2000, whatever. This is pretty serious conversation right here. I, I don't know why nobody sees what's coming. The patterns, at the very least, are pointing towards some hard times are coming. And besides that, history also shows that, which would be part of the patterns. It's repeating, except this time it's going to be a worldwide 186, I think it's 182, 186, whatever, 180 plus countries are doing this in lockstep. Look that up, 2010 Lockstep, the book. Same same group of your lords doing this. And the U.S. military, right here, they just did a simulation. I'll read it to you. National Guardsmen just completed a 2-week training exercise which saw them respond to a simulated cyber attack that took out critical utilities across the entire United States. That's called a clue. Yeah, they do training every now and then. These are patterns again. They've been warning us since February of 2021. The UN or the WEFers, Uncle Klaus, the swab himself, burped out of his own mouth. I did a video a few days ago about it. Go watch that evil prick do it again. Replay it. He told you. The U.S. military has now told you. All the channels that have been deleted have told you in the past. The few channels left that are just hanging by a thread playing whack-a-mole out here with the AI, we're still trying to tell you, but I can't say anything. When the power goes down, but not the power, that's going down later too. I'm talking about the internet. When the internet goes down, do you think how many people are going to have access to your bitcoins? Raise your hand. How about your ATM card? Can you get some cash out if the internet's down? Hang on. Here's an easy one. Will your power work? Oh, speaking of power, because I think you got a nice digital box called a smart meter on every house in America, right? Isn't that weird timing? Thus, they don't manually come out and turn them off no more. They can do it through what? Wi-Fi, the internet. How about dark fiber? You ever look that up? You know what dark fiber means in the business? That's the internet 2.0 that's waiting to be plugged in, by the way. That's what I hear anyways. I had a dream about it. Yeah. Anyways, you don't have to believe any of this. It's all going to happen, whether you believe it or not. The question's going to be, why does Deagle show 99 million people left by 2025? You know what that means? 2 out of 3. So look around you. Every 3 people you see, only one's coming out the other side. If you look at the old alphabet agency that starts with the letter C and ends in A, and the middle initial is I, they did a study that if the power goes out, what would happen? You don't have to believe this either. These are facts. 30 days. I think 9 out of 10 taking a lunch. They're going to do it to each other. If that ever happens, let's hope this is all bullshit, right? So internet goes down worldwide. Your power is going to be back to back with that because that's all run through the internet. What happened with that pipeline? Oh, the internet took it down, right? But that's flowing through pipes. Yeah. How about twice that I've reported on in the last month? Water treatment plants getting hacked. One, they actually turned the sensors up. If nobody would have caught that, whoever drank the water in the morning would have like been taken out to lunch for free. Oh, you guys, you all for some reason because I think this is the problem. If you've never had your hands on evil physically, or been maybe a victim, I guess, to evil, like if you've never like fought evil, maybe you've been a victim of it. Those people get it because they know there's evil out there. But I think most people have been isolated their whole life and protected, and they all think they're shit, but they're not. If you've lived a little, I may or may not have, you could see evil from its fruition to acting out to putting your hands on it to put it away for work, let's say, or not. I don't even think I'm crazy. So, but that's whatever. Anyways, that is what I'm saying. All right, let's finish. The exercises have become an annual event, but this year took an even more significant because we're in the year 21. Remember that old agenda thing, that 97 or 92? It was in the 90s. They wrote a book that's now literally happening in real time that played out that I've been yelling about since before the internet was popular. I was still on bulletin boards back then. Let's see, more significance after coming on the heels of several major ransomware, wink, wink, and cyber, wink, wink, attacks. How come there hasn't really been any major ones in years? Like you don't even have to see them pushing for antivirus no more. Because all this garbage comes from the same people who invented the internet. You see what I'm saying? Backdoors, everything. Like you out there, you got your VPNs and your secret texting and whatever encryption. Get the fuck out of here. Anybody who thinks they're not watching you, get out. But whatever, do you? Because you probably don't believe that either. Oh shit. The exercises were part of the 7th Cyber Yankee and training event that brings together guardsmen from throughout the New England region to test their responses. What was the results? Let's see if they tell us the result. I bet you they don't, because it's going to be hell. What were the results, military? Let's see if they tell us. Simulated cyber attack that targeted utilities on the West Coast, of course. How about Texas? They're only getting messed with every freaking 2 weeks. And now there's no water on the West Coast. That's weird. And if you watch my radar, that's never been seen before, except this last 3 months, 2 months, really. You know, those are called patterns and clues. And my job, it's not my job. My brain picks it up and I spit it back out, regurgitate it, and try to show you. A lot of you get it because I see your comments. I try to respond to most of them that I can. And I do appreciate it. You guys are great. Just side note. Just be strong. Don't be scared. We chose to be here for this. All right. Anyways, I don't need to read this garbage. Who gives a shit what they're saying? It's just that they're telling you. See this picture? This says everything right here. And I got comments in the last video I did about the grid down. Oh, yeah, we're in the dark web. Good. Yeah, good. You do the dark web, morons. What's that going to do for my ATM card or my Bitcoin card? What are you going to go on the dark web and get into your account when their accounts are on the normal web? See how dumb people are? I call it, I can't say the word. I've said it a couple times already in the last video. Now, the U.S. military, let's switch over to Davos, our cousins up at the top of the food chain, let's call it, because you're just feeder cattle. You don't have to believe that either. You're going to find out. Let's see here. World Economic Efforts, Davos 2021, averting a cyber pandemic, option 1. These are video. Any of you guys could I'll put a link to these searches. Just if you really are interested, I'll put a link to the search. I can't just keep telling people without you physically touching it. Because when you see something like this, Cyber Polygon, When I say Polygon or like Monogram says, but nobody even knows what we're talking about. Just take 10 seconds and look up the word. See, words sometimes have two meanings, quoting an old Led Zeppelin song. Something about climbing stairways to get to places, which you're not allowed to do according to the book. I'm going to say the book because if I say the real word, God's word, I get stressed. You're not going to believe how bad the censorship is getting. Like, I'm not going to yell. I'm not really yelling. I just get loud. It's part of my personality. I'm an alien. I only know a couple other aliens ever. Anyways, that being said, that's pretty cool. All right, Cyber Polygon. This project is part of the World Economic Efforts Center for Cybersecurity Platform. Digitalisation is accelerating everywhere. New digital ecosystems are forming all around us. Yeah, with the fiber, little antennas pointing at you, and radar and six. Hang on, I'm sidetracked. Unnoticed linkages across services and supply chain. See, here's your problem. Remember when the beef got hacked the other day? The cows? Anybody? That was like more than 10 days ago. You probably have no clue what I'm talking about. My fans do, but if you just ran across, you're like, what cows died? How about in the first 2 days? 20% of the world cattle died. Why? Because of a cyber attack. Wink, wink. Really? So now we've covered water, your cattle. Now, don't forget last year when the Karachi scam started, around this time last year, nobody was going to work for safety reasons. Whatever. Well, what did we do? We didn't save all the cattle and put them in ice. Remember all those morgues, the portable ones that were all over the place? I did videos, look, I think it was June of last year, saying, hey, you got all these refrigerated trucks doing nothing, by the way. They were all empty. Weird. Why don't you throw out them dead cattle? They knew what our government did to help the farmers. One, they paid them not to take them in. But number two, they gave them these little cylinder things. They're metal protectors with a big cylinder on it, so you don't have to waste money. And you go bang on the head, and it puts it to sleep, let's say. They told them to do that and dropped them on the side of the road because there was nowhere to put them. China, our new world, whatever they're going to be, whatever their role is. Excuse me, I can't breathe again. This is getting weird today. It literally feels like you're choking, but you're not eating nothing. All right. What was I thinking? Oh, China. They flew 747 jets here and were picking up pigs that we were throwing in the ditch. And they flew them first class or not. Maybe it had to be some in the back of the plane. You know, not everybody can be in first class. We're not all that important. But they flew them home. You know why? Because pig to them is their number one meat, whatever. So they didn't waste any, but America, we threw it all out. Do you know why your steak right now, those filet things are like $30 a piece now? Really? It's not inflation. That's not hyperinflation. It's worse because there's nothing to freaking replace it. And then who owns all the farmland now? Like 250 million acres or whatever. 240. I'm just going off the top of my head. I don't have notes. The notes are in my brain. Billy goats. Yeah. What happens if your owner of all the farmland says no more growing food? Anybody want to answer that question real quick? I'll wait. Put it in the comments. What's going to happen when Billy Goat says, you know what? Y'all didn't do the sticky. No. Remember the old days? I got to be careful how I say this because it could be a hate crime or something. No ticky, no washi was an old term in the old 60s and 70s and 80s. See, when you used to go to a laundromat, we'll call it, I think that's still called that, you would drop your clothes on, like your uniform, to get clean, right? because they would press it and all that. It looks really sharp and you look cool or whatever. Who cares? So then you go to pick it up. Well, when you drop your shit off, they gave you this little card, like a little tag. No pun intended. Jab tag in the bag, right? So they gave you a tag. And then when you came back a couple of days later, you hand them a tag and they lined it up and they met. Oh wow, there's where that saying comes from. All right, for the young people out there. So if you didn't get your sticky, you get no dinny. You know what I mean? No dinner. If you don't think that's coming, it's happened in history 100 times, or whatever, 10 times, whatever. Every 240 years this happens, or not. Except this time it's happening. I don't know what World War number dose was. I don't know if they were doing a practice run or somebody put a halt to, like, they were trying the same garbage, but only in Europe at that time. This time it's worldwide. Look around. All right. What is Cyber Polygon? Cyber Polygon is a unique cybersecurity event that combines the world's largest technical training exercise for corporate teams and online conferences featuring senior officials from international organizations and leading corporations, your overlords. What is it called? Here's another question for the homework. What kind of situation is it when the government gives special powers and privileges to the corporation? And then the corporations, in turn, it circles back into a loop, then does the dirty work under the protection of the new laws or not. But if the feeder cattle try any of that, no, no, no. I don't know what that's called. I think it has something with an F in it. Ends in IM, ISM, something like that. You'll figure it out. Or don't. But it's worse than that. It's the new version of that. Everything has to be centralized out of the WEFers. And then you'll see. My point is just stop for a minute and think. If the power in the internet goes down, are you going to be remotely prepared to do anything to keep yourself sane? Because you're not going to have text, you're not going to have email, you're not going to have phone calls, most likely. You're not going to have television. You're not going to, you maybe have radio if you got one, but you're not going to have power to run the radio. Does anybody realize that if the internet goes down, how bad that's going to be? Now, I'm not saying this, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm trying to tell people they're saying it. Since February, they've been telling us this is coming. And Uncle Klausy Klaus said that this lockdown, he's got lockdowns coming too, by the way, for the environment. So then he hits us with that too. So they're telling you you're going to have a cyber attack training, wink, wink. And then what happened last year, or in 2019, October-ish, there was an event. It was a training event. It started with the number 2. Put your fingers together and make like a circle where you could look through it. That was in the middle, and there was the number 1 at the end. Drop the 0, because that's how these evil pricks work. Event 2. And what was after that? After the 0? I think after the 0, it was the number what? 1. That's it. 21. Go back to 1997 or so. Number 21 showed up again. And then it was a whole thousands of pages showing you what they were going to do. And everybody laughed at us when we kept reading the book. And we're telling you, this is what they're saying. Isn't this crazy? Yeah, you're crazy. Now it's all even on your CNN garbage. Those kind of idiots. They're telling you. You know why? Because they have to tell you. Because now you have to accept it. That's why they tell you, by the way. They need your consent to take your soul. Think about that. And nobody remembers either. Remember when you were young? Most everybody was taught this. There's a marker like a drawing marker. Think of that. And then you got your little hands. So the marker plus your hands, which in the book, hand means your entire arm. So think of that. So picture a mark, your hand, and then what's that movie, Beauty and what? Big Ugly Prick with the beautiful princess. Oh shit, that's funny. Hang on, my head just spun around. So mark plus your arm plus the beast from Beauty and the. Do you all forget that? Seriously? Even if you're not into the thing, everybody's heard of it. I mean, wouldn't you question that? Because what did it say? It says if you don't accept it, you'll not be able to buy things or today fly, go into grocery stores, etc., etc. That's all coming because you're going to need a special ID, the tag, show your papers. Anybody ever hear that term? If you think that's not coming, you're not looking around the world. There's countries already got the laws in place, and we're doing it state by state. They're slow rolling us, and you know why. We're a little more on the edge in this country. The problem is they're going to make you do this to each other. And if you read any of the training manuals for this, the fourth generation war manual, that's a hilarious read. How about the green zones? I keep reporting on that. What your own local child damaging corporation. They have all the laws already. They're just waiting. Oh my. And then let's just go back to the internet. I'm getting sidetracked. The 2021 technical exercise builds and tests the skills needed to protect our industries. I'm sure that's why you're doing it. They're coordinating their training. Do you see what they're telling you? Every year, the training brings together a global business and government. What did I just tell you? What's business and government when they're in bed together? What's that called? Because I can't talk anymore, and I supposedly live in a government country that you're allowed to talk. However, because it's all private now, you got to listen to your overlords. Like, how did this happen? Anybody get it yet? You don't even have to read between the lines. You don't need to know wizardry. They're telling you. They're showing you. All your favorite channels are gone. All the fun and games is gone. All the chit chat's gone. Do you know that song, Bye Bye something pie? Oh yeah, American Pie. Everybody said that was about the Kennedy and the one airplane that with the singers and all that garbage. I don't think so. Drove his Chevy to the levee. What's drying up in California right now? What are they running out of right now? Literally running out of as we speak. They've had no rain in like a year. And what do I keep showing you on the radar? There's some mystical popcorning going coast to coast now. From oceanfront to oceanfront. Last night, the entire country was under a popcorn sizzle. I've never seen that in 12, 15 years of doing this. Ever. I'm not crazy. It's on the radar. I got video. Everything I say, I usually have video or a picture, or I can link you to it, or I just remember it and we'll find it. Something's changing. And then you got buildings turning to dust magically. And then some idiot here catches the radar as it happens. Like, oh, that's weird. And then the radar goes down all day the next day. But for a few hours, anyways, like 4 hours. That same radar was off. After the video starts picking up speed. That's just creepy, man. And then we got this internet going down. Training, we'll call it. called the Cyber Polygon. The U.S. military just did their Polygon training, let's call it. So 120 teams from 29 countries in 2020 took part. Live stream, viewership, etc. 5,057 nations. Now they got 186 nations on board, I bet. The report with detailed results is available there. I want to see how the results are. Here's the reason that people are saying the pattern here. Because back to the 21er event, it was like a month to the day, if I remember correctly, that the Karachi took off. That's weird. Now my cell phone's even losing internet. Wow, this is getting creepy as I'm listening to my internet off the cell. But anyways, that's not even working either. So all this since this radar video. Oh my. Speaking of the internet, it's not working for me. This is creepy. The event will be held on July 9th. Well, I'm just going to keep going with this video. I hope you're still here. July 9th. What's a month after July 9th? August 9th, 10th, something like that. August 10th may be a significant day or not. We'll see. But according to these same elites in 1987, 88, The Economist magazine cover, which is owned by the elites or the overlords or the devil himself, who the hell knows, whatever you call it, they printed a thing about digital money. That's weird. Back then, we didn't have digital anything. Oh, shit. So they either got a magic ball or they're from the future and went back and somebody was writing this. But anyways, if you know anything about numbers, cryptography, all that garbage, it's not garbage, it's actually real, but my point is garbage to you because you're not going to understand it. Patterns, all that. And then you group a bunch of spurgs together on the web that also have some talent in that, and then their minds keep popping off each other. They figure things out, and some of them can do it even on their own. Shout out, Monograph. He is the one. I posted the video. I'll put it in the link again. Go watch his video about the 10th. If he's right, and it's not that he's right. All the numbers say it's happening. So this is all building up. Is why I'm getting weird. The numbers, the food's going down. The 800% increase in most of the wood now. 800%. That's not inflation. That's a crime. Is your paycheck gone up 800%? No, it won't. As a matter of fact, you're all going to lose your jobs too. Then we got robots at Walmart. No more cashiers. What are they going to do with all these people that are just thinking they're going to sit home and the government, these elites, are going to pay you? Are you out of your mind? Or we're going to get earned income or something, whatever the government. No, you're not. You'll get that on your way off the cliff. When you get off the train, they'll say, go out that front door. Your ticket's right there with your lottery ticket to get your monthly check. And as soon as you grab it, the bottom falls out. And they got the thing on a string, so they don't even have to use a second one. That's how cheap these pricks are. You think they're going to give you everything for nothing? You're out of your mind. So remember, Cyber Polygon's coming. The military's training. That's all for July or August or July 10th, 9th, whatever it was. And if you do a search, there's a lot of stuff about this. There's even a 4-letter agency that monitors just internet. Most of you don't know that number. You know the CI with the other letter, but not with SA in front of it. My point is, to summarize this up, forget everything I just said. If there's an emergency, it could be a tornado, an earthquake, a sinkhole that sucks in a whole building to dust. When the chaos starts, it's going to get very dangerous. And people are going to panic like you've never seen before. I'm guessing. According to the actual C-lettered agency that did the study on this, read that. They know what's coming if this happens. It's all in their books, by the way. I'm not making any of this up. My common sense tells me people are going to panic, especially when you can't get your medication. Again, I'm going to say this one more time, probably 100 more times. When the internet goes down, what happens to your medicine, your pharmacies? Anybody on dialysis, anybody on whatever you need to live, insulin. By the way, your refrigerators are going to be down. So you got nothing to refrigerate the insulin. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's thinking. What about all the housewives and their pills? How about that? You talk about nuts. And the men, whatever they take, all your vices, alcohol. How many people are alcoholics? Probably a lot of you. What are you going to do when the stores aren't there no more? And that's probably going to be the first thing to get robbed, by the way, because you could at least trade that. That's a good commodity, in my opinion. There's a clue. Because people do shit to get their little buzz. You see what I'm saying? I hope you're all making at least an emergency. Not even emergency. Like, there's probably nothing we could do, but at least don't get caught up in the chaos. The first few days is going to be scary. You're going to have no power, no. If this happens, it could happen from a tornado, by the way. So it's not just this. And if you think you're going to run to your friend who has been storing food and doing stuff, they're going to have to turn you away. And when they talk about the civil things that can happen, a lot of it, I'm like, I used to think back when we read about this, the 1800s, that last one, right? And I'm like, why would families and friends just start doing that to each other? Think about what's coming. If you only got enough food for a month for you and your 3 kids or whatever you got, and then other people are going to come to you because they didn't have any food just for themselves for a week, and they know you got some extras, but that's not extra. You just saved enough for each one of your family, let's say, whatever many in your family. You're going to have to turn people away, and maybe by force. And then your neighbors like, oh, I know he's got this and that or whatever. You don't know. Let's just all start praying, even if you don't believe in certain things. Pray to whatever you believe in, because we need that energy more than ever. And according to the book that I'm not allowed to speak about, I could say it, but then it'll cut the video down. They won't get out. See what I'm saying? This is how they get you, by the way. I just want to say, take whether you believe in spirit energy, God, whichever God, whatever, start putting that. I think a lot of that's covered under one umbrella because everybody's different cultures, etc. They had to set it up that way. It's the only way you get retarded people to understand any of this veil stuff, if you want to say that, which I do. And I still believe in God. So there you go. But I don't care what I do. My point is, we need, there's so much evil right now. They're all praying to their God, which we know is, you know, the dark arts, including everybody that's supposed to be protecting us. Most of them. That's who they worship. That's creepy. So then there's 8 billion of us that if you took collectively your brain in the ether, for example, some people are connected to the ether more than others. That's fine. It has to be that way. Otherwise, we'd all be aliens. I hope you get what I'm saying. We need to start. That's why I'm trying to make fun of your videos. Because there's no more sense in talking garbage no more about their garbage. I'm not talking garbage. I'm repeating their garbage. All that's doing is bringing us more down. Even this, I'm trying to keep as light as I can, even though it's super freaking serious. And if you're an empath or you get any of those weird vibrations, any of that stuff, you guys get it. Because all of a sudden it's hitting you hard. I guarantee you that. And if you're new to finding out your talents, you're going to start catching up because your veils are lifting. There's an ether up there that some of us and all of us, I think, can connect to it if you try. It's just what area on the spectrum you are. That's all. Because we're all human. But I think some of us are. I always joke. You feel like an alien when nobody understands what you're talking about. But now I'm finding people that do. That's another creepy thing. Because whatever, you guys will get it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it because it'll take you time. You'll catch up. So my point is, if the power, the internet, whatever, if there's an emergency, a tornado, a sinkhole, radar, something happens, where's the safest place to be? You need to figure that out. Like, should you stay in your house? Probably, but I'm not giving any advice. I'm saying you better start thinking about it. And then what if your kids are at school? And what if you're at work and your wife and the youngest kid are at home? What happens then? Better think about it. Because I guarantee you one thing, they're going to put a fence or whatever around that school and say the kids are safer in there. Want to bet? Want to freaking bet? I know this because they tell you in all the predictive programming. It's in a lot of your Disney shows. But nobody wants to pay attention. So my point is, keep that in mind. And then second, if the power goes down, there's going to be no traffic lights. Or the internet even goes down. The power can still be on. The internet's going to be down. So therefore the traffic lights don't work, etc. You know what kind of traffic problems you're going to have? How are you going to get home? How far are you going? How long should they wait before maybe one of your neighbor, whatever your group of friends are, should they go look for you? Or should they not? Remember when you were younger, you were always told, make a fire drill in your own house? Oh, that today would be a conspiracy theory. How dare you say that you should plan in case there's a fire in your house? What exits are there? Teach your young kids, hey, if you're here in the basement, there's a fire, crawl out that window. What you got to do, pull that window out and get out if you can't get up the stairs. And then you in this room do this. Here's the way out. Practice it. Make them crawl on the ground. Make them roll on the ground. Oh, that's crazy, right? Am I crazy for saying that? Well, that'll never. What are the odds that'll happen? Hopefully never. What are the odds this is going to happen? I don't know. I'm not the one doing it. But I see it's coming or not. So my question is, what are you going to do if it does? I'm not talking about being a tough guy. I'm talking about protecting your family. Stop dicking around and stop watching baseball games and thinking everything's 20 or 1999 again. It's not. And I only give a shit because my family's out there and they'll be running into you scared people. And probably all of them are going to be scared. And most of them, I know a few that won't. But that being said, I can't protect everybody. I don't know. I don't want to bring people down. I just want you to be aware that it could get weird or not. And if it doesn't, you're going to go, oh, he's wrong for the first time. But so far, this last 18 months, the patterns have all played out. And it's creeping me out. And now that those patterns are really played out, and we all in this community here, whatever you want to call us that are left, we knew this is coming. And now it's like, it is coming. Because all the other ones already did. You see what I'm saying? So my last point is back to the prayer or whatever you call your inner soul. Start putting some positive shit out there. Because according to the book, at least, it's the only one I can go by as far as a map. Because I'm still learning about the ether too. Maybe it would change the course for a while based on prayer. But if nobody cares anymore, why would it change? And then if you go to the energy side and the ether side, it's the same thing. That's why I think religion may be the same. Religion was just a book to help you understand your ether that you don't understand. Why we don't understand? Because they don't teach us this. Why they don't teach you this? Because then you'd have more power in your psyche, and all that stuff. We probably got superpowers we don't even know about. Like somebody said in my comments the other day about the video about the frequency. How do you think they lifted those stupid rocks for the pyramids thousands of years ago? Energy, frequency. And I keep making posts on my news channel, frequency, because nobody believes frequency is real. I don't know why. You're listening to radio your whole life. You got frequency all around you with your Wi-Fi. It makes people very ill. It can literally do x-rays of your body. That's frequency. It's the same shit. And now it's all around you, if you know what I'm talking about. And it's changing. So therefore, everybody do your thing, but remember, if there's an emergency, whatever it is, do you have a little bag, maybe a couple days worth of canned chicken? They're small. What if you got no power? Forget your refrigerator and freezer. That's out. Do you have a water filter at least? Get one of them pens for each of your family members and do like 10,000 gallons. So you can go to a lake and suck the water out. Because when the internet goes down, all your water pumps are going to go down. And if you see something's happening, like, I don't know, whatever's happening around you, fill your bathtubs with water. I mean, stupid shit like that. That's 50 gallons of water right there. But have some talk to your family, your friends, your neighbors. What are you going to do if the shit hits the fan? That's all I'm saying. And then let's just pray that this doesn't happen. How about that? But nobody is. Everybody thinks they're tough. You're not tough. You're nothing. I mean, you're tough. Your soul is tough, but your body can be just poof, gone, and dust. As the people in Miami, how tough they were in that building. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. You're not tough. Yeah, you maybe kick somebody's ass if you're a bully or whatever, but why? And this thing about us getting separated and hating each other for each topic, that's got to stop. We can beat this just by not playing their game, but we all fall for it. They got our brains so easily mapped. So that's it. I'm just rambling. This Wag Chicago. What are you gonna do if the shit hits the fan? I'm out of here. Hopefully that wasn't too dark.